Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are doing another cool new spin on a monster mash. So I know a lot of you have been requesting a humanoid monster mash, like a human being mixed with some type of animals or characteristics, so I thought, you know, why don't we actually finally do one? So today I am live on Twitch, and I'm gonna have the Twitch community send me 2 animals and a plant to combine with a human. I thought this would be a really cool prompt and a really awesome combo, so let's see what we get today. All right, so the votes are in for animal number 1. We either had a moth, a striped hyena, I think that's how you pronounce it, a fox, an elk, or a tapir. And the results are, a fox by like 1 vote. Just 1, almost moth. And then the second animal was either a honey badger, a barn owl, a kangaroo, a water deer, or a leech. And the final results are a honey badger. Okay, cool. And then finally for the plant, we either have a black bat plant, a Venus flytrap, a forget-me-not, a corpse flower, or snapdragons. And the final results are snapdragons. Oh, I love those flowers. They're kind of some of my favorites. So what I'm gonna do now, we're gonna give some rough sketches of this plant combined with the 2 animals and a human and see what we come up with today. So let me jump in, do some rough sketches, and I will see you guys in a bit. So a quick note as I jump into the sketches for this monster mash, we did another straw poll where we decided which type of fox we used instead of just, you know, picking like a general red fox or a gray fox or a snow fox. We decided to just go ahead and do a straw poll, and we landed on the marbled fox, which is a really gorgeous creature. Look it up, check it out, and that is what we're basing our fox choice on today. All right, guys, so we have finished the rough sketch idea that I have for this guy, and I'm really digging the idea of making this like a werefox, werewolf type of thing, and I really like the combo of the snapdragon. At first, I was having a little bit of trouble figuring out how to combine the flower with the creatures without just making it look like I'm pasting flowers on it, but the Twitch chat suggested why not make the mouth look like a snapdragon, since snapdragons you pluck off and you can like move up and down to make it look like they're talking. And I thought that was a great idea. I think that makes a very creepy and weird looking mouth, and I'm really excited to jump in and try this one right here. It's just gonna be really cool to have like the flower petals look like these like open lips. It's gonna be really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and do the final sketch for this guy, line art, color, and we will be done. I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so jumping into this piece, I had a couple of different ideas on really how I wanted to construct this thing, so I just had to kind of sketch it out and figure out what I wanted to do. I know I wanted a very interesting and dynamic pose, and from chatting in the Twitch chat, and I think I talk about it a little bit on the end card as well, but we thought this would be a really interesting spin on kind of like a werewolf, werefox, werebadger, all of the above. We just thought it'd be a really interesting and fun take on the idea of a werewolf, especially because it has to be like slightly humanoid. I know that I could have probably incorporated more human aspects, like I guess making it look more like a human, but I was so invested in the idea of this werewolf look that I couldn't pass it up. I had to do the werewolf overall. And this was an actually interesting combination of something fun to do and a challenge, just because trying to think of how to make a werewolf out of a fox and a honey badger is already hard enough, but then to add in a snapdragon made it a little bit more difficult. So when we were talking in the Twitch chat, we had a couple ideas. Like one of them was maybe it'd be kind of interesting to show the age of this creature based off of its tails. So that comes from the Kitsune legend from the Japanese nine-tailed fox. I bet you guys all recognize that from Naruto. But either way, the tailed fox legend usually showed their age or their magical ability. So I could also see this one having a similar characteristic where its tails would kind of define how long it's been around, or, you know, what it's done in its lifetime to, I guess you could say, earn those tails. So this guy, I would say, is kind of middle of the road. I would say maybe they go up to 5 tails. I personally wouldn't push it more than 5. So I'm just gonna decree it now. The Snapdragon Werewolf combo cannot have more than 5 tails. But either way, I think this guy would be kind of in the middle of his life cycle, I guess you could say. And one of the things we talked about in the Twitch chat was basically what these guys do and why they exist in this world in general. I'll go more into this in my monster manual. I talk about it a little bit on the end card as well, but this guy for sure is going to be in my creature compendium. He's just too cool to pass up. I just really love how he turned out, so he's got to make an appearance in there. So we'll have his full lore backstory drafted up, but we had some people in the Twitch community suggesting different ideas of origin and why they exist and what they fight for. So going off of the idea of the Snapdragon, it would be kind of fun to incorporate the idea of dragon into this thing somehow. I know that I didn't want to make him part dragon, but I wanted to make sure he had some type of dragon aspect to him. So we thought, why not make the werewolf a dragon hunter? I have to thank my mod Sleepy. I just talked about him in last week's video as well, but he's a awesome idea man, and also anyone else in the Twitch chat who sent in ideas, all of them are amazing. But I really liked how Sleepy went into the idea of basically it's good luck for these things to be in towns, because usually werewolves are hunted and, like, you know, slaughtered because they kill people on full moons. But I thought, what a cool idea that Sleepy had, that these things would actually be good luck on a town because they protect the town from dragons. Which also incorporates the Snapdragon idea because it is protecting it from dragons, but it's not directly a dragon. I don't know how else to compare it, but I thought that was a super cool idea. So this thing I could see being probably it bestows its gift, quote unquote, onto one person in particular towns that are probably inflicted by dragons. Like maybe the I'm trying to remember how this works in the hierarchy of werewolves. I think if you get bit by like an alpha werewolf in a way, like original OG werewolf, you also become a werewolf, or it's just you're just bit by a werewolf and you become one. But I could see this one being older ones of this kind bite humans, or maybe give them some type of flower. That'd be kind of interesting too. That's how they maybe pass on their gift. But they give it to humans to continue protecting other people and villages, and maybe this just all originates in humanity somehow. But either way, I really liked the idea of this werewolf being a like town protector and a human protector. They might be misunderstood in certain cultures or places, but I like the idea of a werewolf that isn't like hunted by people. And then also it was mentioned that it would be really cool that one way that people knew that their town was being protected by this creature is if it left kind of a trail of petals behind it, or maybe small snapdragons. I think that'd be kind of cute to incorporate into the lore of it just leaving these petals behind, which I just realized I forgot to put in the painting. I completely spaced on putting it in the final painting. But either way, I will try to add it into the final print. I talk about it a little bit at the end card again, but I liked my first attempt at this guy in general. I was a little bit constricted on time, to be honest with you guys. I have been falling behind on a lot of my YouTube and art creation. It's just been a combination of work has been really taxing, and then life has just been very busy for me recently. I've been trying to balance my full-time job and YouTube. So I haven't been able to dive into these peaches, oh my gosh, I can talk today. I haven't been able to dive into these pieces as much as I would want to, or do all the ideas that I'm thinking of. but at least in this case, I do like how the final product turned out for this piece in general, and it was super fun to color. It was really fun to experiment with and try a couple new ideas on, and things I've seen other artists do. So it was still a really fun piece, but I know I want to do more with it. So if I do make this a print in the future, I'd love to expand on it, maybe give it a little bit more of a background and something that the werewolf, I guess I'm just gonna call him a werewolf from here on out. I know he's not even part wolf, so I guess a werefox, werebadger, I don't really know what to call him yet. We don't really have a for sure name, but either way, in the final piece, I would love to see him interacting with something or pouncing on his prey or doing something in the scene. So I would love to, you know, return to this one in the future when I have a little bit more time to put a little bit more love in this piece. Another thing that was really fun with this piece was trying to decide what color Snapdragon I would use, because Snapdragons come in so many different colors and patterns. Some have stripes, some have just different patches of color, some are solid, some have like a gradient from one color to the other. So I just kind of picked my favorite. I would always gravitate toward these like pinkish red ones with yellow. I don't know why I liked them so much, and I still like them, but I really gravitated towards them as a kid. So I was like, I'm just gonna pick my favorite color and run with it because this was just my favorite growing up. And it actually worked really well. I think it works really nicely with the green, and then later on with the shading and shadow and the effect of the moon. I think the pink and the yellow play off really well, personally. But I'd love to hear you guys' feedback. What color Snapdragon would you guys have picked? Like, what's your favorite Snapdragon color? Because man, they come in so many colors, and I could also see this werewolf maybe depending on region, or maybe the werewolf that, I guess you could say, I keep saying werewolf. Anyway, maybe the previous one that bit the new human, maybe it's based off of its color, but maybe different factors play into it, like whether it is striped or has different speckles of color, or, you know, what plays into it. I'm just interested to develop this more, and maybe it's just random choice. Maybe that just randomly gets picked a color and that's what they have. But yeah, this guy is really fun, and I'm really excited to develop it more, and I can just imagine all the different colors of Snapdragons applied to these creatures. It would also be interesting if maybe different colors, like different colored Snapdragons were on the same creature, like a red and a white and a pink, and there's multiple different colors. But either way, I really love the color combo for this guy in general. So here we are, we're diving into a couple of different highlight things that I've been experimenting with, and I think it worked really well with the moon right behind him. I really wanted to make sure that the highlights were super visible, so you would see like the light was directly behind him. But one of the things I still struggle with is trying to figure out how I want to do shadows, because I wanted to push the shadow quite a bit, but I also didn't want to lose color because I was pretty attached to it, and I know that's one of my weak points, because I like to see the color and I like to see where it originally was, but sometimes when you do shading or shadowing, you lose the color just because, you know, you got to push it back so much. So I kind of did a nice happy in between of what I liked, so then you could see the shadow and the color, but not like lose all the detailing I put into it. And I also did some experimenting with the line art, which you guys can see. This will be the Patreon Photoshop file of the month for November. So go check it out and see kind of what I did and what I experimented with my different layering. But either way, we are close to the end of this piece. I still love how this guy turned out, and I cannot wait to develop him for my creature compendium. All right, guys, and we are all done with this piece, and I think this guy turned out pretty freaking epic. I'm thinking about maybe reworking this piece one more time through when I want to make this like a full print. I think it'd be really cool to have it pouncing on some type of prey, but at least for this first round of it, I really like this guy. This was a really interesting mash. I didn't know how the animals plus the human and the floral element were really going to work and how they were gonna like fit together well, but I think this guy turned out really cool. And we made some amazing lore during the Twitch stream. I wrote it all down, I have it documented, and it's gonna be available in my creature compendium coming out this January, February-ish. Not a hard set date yet, but keep your eye out for that. I'm really excited to put this guy in there. So I guess he could be called like this wonderful flower werewolf type of creature, and I think he just turned out super epic. And if you guys would like to check it out, I will have a link right here or down in the description. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this guy on a t-shirt. If you guys don't already know, I have a Teespring account where I have different monster mashes and different creations I have made on there. So if you want to check it out and get a really cool t-shirt, go check it out. There's gonna be a bunch of new t-shirts added this Friday, so make sure to keep your eye out for that. So thanks again, guys, so much for stopping by and checking out this video, and I hope you enjoyed the Monster Mash. If you guys want to take a stab at this combo, make sure to tag me on Twitter or Instagram. I'd love to see what you guys create with this combo. So thanks again, guys, so much for stopping by, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.